Hey guys, this is the Musical Nihilist again, and we're on the second game of the draft tournament that I held. The contestants this time is actually going to be me against Slim. So yeah, we're gonna go for a match here, and I believe I actually start. So I start off with a Dragon Shrine. So Dragon Shrine is basically just a Foolish Burial, but for dragons. And the guard dragon that I sent to the grave is a guard dragon Justicia. So that lets me send another dragon to the grave, and I go for Blaster. In case you guys haven't figured it out what kind of strategy I'm running, well, you'll see as the duel goes on, because I didn't really know what I was doing when I made this. The deck I think was like 56 cards, so it's just a huge stack of cards. It made sense at the time, the cards just kind of went together, but you'll see how they work right now. So I start off with a humble set and I pass it back to Slim. So Slim starts off with a Danger Nessie. He's going to shuffle his hand and I'm going to try to discard a card. So we're going by dice roll and I discard a Cosmic Cyclone. So he'll be able to special summon the Nessie out and draw an additional card. And I think he's just thinking about what to do. So he attacks over my face down, and the face down is actually a Pyramid Turtle. Pyramid Turtle will let me grab a zombie from the deck and special summon it. And the zombie that I go for is actually a Devouring Sarcophagus. So this is actually a really cool card. During the battle phase, he goes for Jurighetto, gaining himself 1,000 life points. So Devouring Sarcophagus is kind of like a Gradle, where it gets the effect to take control of an opponent's monster when it gets destroyed by battle. The only catch being that the monster's attack and defense turns to 0 and it becomes a zombie type. It also has the additional grave effect where when a zombie monster gets destroyed by battle, I can banish it and just do it again. So Slim attacks over my Devouring Sarcophagus and he's attempting to activate Jurighetto's effect during the battle phase, but the Sarcophagus's effect activates at the end of the damage step. So it basically bypasses Jurighetto's activation window. We're just confirming how the effect works, making sure that the game state is accurate this time. And I do take control of the Jurighetto. And Slim passes it back to me. And I just choose to put it in defense position. I'm just going to play it safe, conserve my resources, not go all out, and pass it back to Slim. So Slim's looking at his hand, and he actually goes for DD Assailant. So right here, this is actually the only illegitimate play in the whole duel. Slim attacked the Jurighetto with DD Assailant and banished both monsters, but DD Assailant doesn't work that way. DD Assailant must be destroyed by battle in order to banish the monster that it battled. So yeah, that's the only illegitimate play in the whole duel. Luckily, it doesn't actually impact the outcome of the match. I simply follow up with a Kashtira Giant and attack over the Nessie and deal for some damage. And it looks like Slim doesn't have much. I follow with a Dodger Dragon and banish it to special summon Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon from the hand and use the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon to special summon Blaster from the grave. And Slim responds with a Gores in hand. And he's going to get a token for 2800 attack. And it looks like I'm going to attack over the token with Blaster. So they're going to crash. I'm going to beat over the Gores. And actually Slim has the idea that Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon can't attack the turn it activates its effect. But it actually can. There's no such restriction. So basically there's no summoning sickness. This isn't Magic the Gathering. Although some cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Have that kind of restriction, so it makes sense. Slim starts off his turn with a Burning Dragon, and Burning Dragon actually has the effect to special summon itself when your opponent has 2 or more monsters in the field, and then he has this Heavy Storm effect on the field by discarding a card. In response, I just activate a Bad Luck Blast, which is basically just a Ring of Destruction, except both players are going to receive half damage. He sets 2 back row and passes it back, where I summon a Raiden to mill 2 cards off the top of my deck, and I mill a Mystic Tomato and the Debris Dragon, He responds to my Red Eyes Darkest Metal Dragon with a Royal Oppression by paying 800 life points and gets rid of my Red Eyes Darkest Metal Dragon. I proceed to the battle phase and he attempts to summon Speedroid Menko to change my monsters to defense position and special summon itself, and I negate it with his own Royal Oppression. So that should clean up game 1. So yeah, that's the risk when using cards like Royal Oppression. You can risk the chance of them just being used against you. So I was very lucky there. I was in a very good situation. Royal Oppression is usually best used when you have an established board, basically some kind of oppressive monster or a big beat stick. And I think Slim just used it against me because he was getting a little desperate. His life points were already running low. And if I just kept extending, he was going to get beat down anyway. So Slim starts off by normal summoning Axe Dragon and passes it back to me. I start off with a Blackstone of Legend and special summon a Red Eyes Darkest Metal Dragon straight from the deck. So yeah, I grabbed a lot of dragon style monsters. I think when the draft was passed out, I grabbed the Red Eyes first, and then when the Blackstone came up, I was able to have targets to actually use it. So I beat over the Axe Dragon with the Red Eyes, and he summons Archfiend Soldier and switches control with Creature Swap and uses the Red Eyes against me. And he sets 2 back row, but more crucially, I can't recycle the Blackstone's effect because I need the Red Eyes to be in the graveyard. It has to be a level 7 Red Eyes. So I try to use Exile to Force, but Slim counters with Solemn Warning, paying 2,000 life points, and all I can do now is just set a card and pass it back. He attacks for 2,000 and I stop it with Hero Spirit of Neos. And when it's special summoned from the hand from declaring an attack, he can't be destroyed by battle. Slim follows up with a Jirigeto to gain himself 1,000 life points. And yeah, this is a really cool card too. He stops the battle phase and can't be destroyed by battle. So I basically have a wall. I summon Debris Dragon and banish it for Red Eyes Darkest Metal Dragon again, and use that Red Eyes Darkest Metal Dragon to summon the Blackstone from the grave. And I immediately use the effect to grab Red Eyes Toon Dragon. So yeah, I grabbed 2 targets to banish with Blackstone of Legends just in case I drew 1 target. So I like to have plenty of gas in the tank. My deck is 56 cards for a reason, and this was my first real misplay. I should have attacked with my Spirit of Neos because it can't be destroyed by battle. And I attacked with my Red Eyes Darkest Metal first, and he mirror walled me, which halved the attack of my Red Eyes Darkest Metal Dragon to 14, so I take some damage, and all I can do is pass it back. Slim pays 2,000 life points to keep the mirror wall on the field. A pretty hefty cost, but worth it because I can't break through his board. And yeah, that was a misplay on my part. I should have just attacked with the Spirit of Neos. He uses the Jurigeto's effect to boost up his Red Eyes and attacks over my Red Eyes Toon Dragon and passes it back to me. I draw, and I'm trying to figure out how to play against his mirror wall. I summon Cupid Volley to mill 3 cards, and I mill 3 pretty important cards, so it was not very good. I run a lot of monsters, and out of everything that I just mill spells and traps that I actually crucially need. So I have to set another back row and pass. Slim decides not to pay to keep Mirror Wall on the field and summons a Armored Bee. And he's going to use this effect to half the attack of my Spirit of Neos. He's going to attack into the Spirit of Neos to deal some damage. And then he's going to also attack my Cupid Volley. And Cupid Volley only has 600 attack, but it does have a cool graveyard effect where when it dies, I do gain back 1,500 life points. So I'm not too in the red. So I'm going to gain back the life points. And yeah, I think in my deck, I run about maybe 25 or 30 monsters. I'm still surprised that I didn't mill any with the Cupid Volley. So I banished 3 monsters of different attributes from the graveyard to summon Arch Nemesis Protos and use Protos' effect to destroy darks on the field. And I'm going to attempt to attack over the Armored Bee, which is successful, but then he summons Level Resist Wall, which can summon a monster from the deck if a monster he controls is destroyed by battle or card effect, but it has to be the same level. and it actually negates their effects, but the way we ruled it, it's just effects in the field, not in the grave or banished. So I don't attack over the DD Assailant because I want to force him to attack into me, and so that way he can take some damage. So I'm just gonna end the battle phase there and pass it back to him, and he draws for turn. So I believe he's just gonna move straight to the battle phase because he doesn't have much to counter my field and does exactly what I just described. Also, this is the correct way that DD Assailant is played. It has to be destroyed by battle to get the effect. I believe we just momentarily confused it with DD Warrior Lady, which functions that way. I finally get off my Blackstone of Legends effect to special summon the Red Eyes Black Dragon from the deck onto the field. And I did recycle it a few turns ago. You can't use the effect to get it back to your hand and special summon it on the same turn, so that's why it took 2 turns to get the Red Eyes out. I attack over the Cyber Dragon, and it's not over yet because Slim actually activates Gores, and in main phase 2 I activate Mothman's effect, and he's gonna try to pick out a card, and it's successful, so I get to special summon Mothman and draw a card. I pass it back to Slim, who draws for turn, and it looks like I'm ahead in terms of field advantage and card advantage, but he actually draws an out in Bigfoot. He's going to attempt to summon it, and I'm going to try to pick it out randomly from the hand, and it actually does get discarded, but his effect kicks off to destroy a monster on the field, and I have the Called by the Grave to negate it. So my Neos can be destroyed by card effects, so that's why I decided to use Called by the Grave. And Slim attempts to use an equip, but that equip only works with normal summon monsters to give it 1000 attack, so that was just another invalid play. But luckily it didn't affect the game state at all. He's going to crash with the token and attack for some damage over my Neos, and I top deck a Snatch Steal, and he scoops it up from there, and it looks like he had a Chaos Emperor Dragon in hand. So yeah, that was for the duels. Thanks for watching, guys. This was actually a lot of fun. This one was a lot smoother. We did our best to just maintain the game state, make sure everything was accurate. Here are the deck lists. Here's my monstrosity if you guys want to judge it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks again for watching.